Welcome to the Undeserving podcast, where two not middle-aged, but younger men are trying to mask their insecurities by using manly soaps. I'm Bryan.
I'm Josh, and we are not corporate sellouts. Bryan, how are you doing, man?
I'm doing pretty good, man. I live in the dream. Just trying to get through school and enjoying my time where I can sit down, relax, and just talk about random stuff with one of my brothers.
You mean almost like soap scents, that kind of level of random?
Yeah, it's pretty random, but also a very interesting topic and something that we're weirdly passionate about.
So for those of you who aren't aware what we're going on about, we are going to be talking about soap scents, not unlike this bar of soap right here by Dr. Squatch. For those of you who don't know what Dr. Squatch is, it's an American company that was founded, I don't know what year, but the whole point behind them is the guy wants to make natural handmade soaps the old school way that have scents that appeal to men. That's pretty much the whole premise of the company. The Sasquatch is like their whole thing because manly soaps have been like as elusive as Sasquatch, I guess. And all I'm gonna say is go watch the YouTube commercials because that's what made me bite. That's what made me bite the bullet. We should do an episode where we just react to the commercials. Yeah,
for those of you who don't know, you may have watched previous episodes where we had Micah on. His page is Heresy Hunters, and what he originally started doing with like every time he would call out a false teacher, he would like put a quote up that they said, and then he would say, "No blank, that's heresy." And he literally got that from one of the Dr. Squatch commercials.
That was the shampoo commercial, right?
Yeah, when that guy
Mike, I think it was, wasn't it?
Yeah, he was talking about it was a shampoo commercial, so he was talking about like 2-in-1 hair or shampoo and conditioner. He's like, well, this is just 2-in-1, so like, isn't this just as good? Then the guy comes and tackles him and goes, "No, Mike," slaps him in the face and says, "That's heresy." Get it? Because heresy. Okay, all right.
I think we got it, Woody. I think we got it.
But what Josh and I wanted to do today, just for, some of you might turn this off at this point, and that's fine because you might be completely uninterested, but we think you should stay because it's entertaining, and especially if you are a man who wants to know what soaps are good and what soaps smell good, you should stay and listen because we're going to give you some quality reviews by two unqualified people. So.
And before any of you think that Dr. Squatch has us in their pocket, don't worry. Don't worry. They're not sitting there giving out sponsorships to guys who get 2 views a month, if that.
Yeah, don't worry. They're not sponsoring us. We really like these soaps, and we want to express to you. We want to go into detail about these soaps, like what soaps we think smell great, and what we think the best bang for your buck is, because these are expensive soaps. So.
Yeah, they are definitely not cheap, but most of them are definitely worth it.
Yeah. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna have a tier. We're gonna have a tier thing in the video, probably like right here,
or maybe in the center here. We're not sure.
Yeah.
We'll let our editor decide what she wants to do.
Yeah, but we're gonna have a tier thing here. We're gonna list it from S being obviously the best to A, B, C, and then F. We're skipping D and E, and then at the bottom, soaps we haven't tried by them yet, which aren't a lot, but...
Yeah, there's a few scents that we haven't tried yet. One of them looks like it literally just released within the past couple weeks, so...
Yeah, and that actually doesn't have any reviews online either.
So we're going to have to get that in our soap descriptions, because that's a thing.
Yep. So what we did is we did this kind of mathematically, not super mathematically, but basically for the S tier... So we did this on a scale of 1 to 10, and that's how we determine where it falls in the tier system. So S tier... Oh, actually, I should probably mention something before that. So there have been some soaps on here that Josh has tried that I haven't, and that I've tried that Josh hasn't. So for the soaps we both tried, what we did was we both gave our rating out of 10, added those ratings up, and divided them by 2 for an average. And then we use that as where we place it in the system. For the soaps that Josh hasn't tried, it's just my rating. For the soaps that I haven't tried that Josh has tried, it's just his rating. And then obviously for the soaps that we haven't either tried is at the...
We're unqualified to speak about those.
Yep. So S tier would be 9 to 10 in rating. A tier would be 7 to 8 in rating. B tier would be 5 to 6 in rating. C tier would be 3 to 4 in rating, and F tier would be 1 to 2 in rating.
Mm-hmm.
So that's how we decided it. Let's talk about this. Let's get down to business.
So which way are we going? Are we building from the bottom up, or are we starting top down?
Oh, bottom up, absolutely.
Okay, cool. So you're the holder of the list right now. So what's the first scent we've got?
So I'm just going to go through the first 3 because they're the ones we haven't tried, and we'll just put them out there right now. Neither of us have tried Spearmint Basil Scrub, or Deep Sea Goat's Milk, or Fresh Falls. That's the newest flavor.
The newest flavor?
Yeah. Although I'm excited about the Deep Sea Goat's Milk one. I want to try that soon.
That name just makes me so uncomfortable. I don't know if I'll ever bring myself to try that.
But then, let's start at the bottom of the barrel. And that was no pun intended because there is a barrel flavored one. But anyway, scented. Why do I keep saying flavored? We don't eat the soaps, although you probably could eat some of them.
They are organic.
Yeah. But bottom of the barrel, let's get it right out of the way. F tier. This is Mars Bar.
The Mars Bar was terrible. I smelled like a Christmas candle after using it. And not even like a good Christmas candle, like the one that has like the overwhelming scent of cinnamon, which I don't mind the scent of cinnamon, but when it's too much, like you know what I mean when I say a bad Christmas candle, right?
Sure.
Yeah, it's like I used it once. I couldn't even finish the bar. It's probably still sitting under my sink somewhere, just kind of waiting to be used again.
So you literally used it once to just put it back?
I used it once, and I hated the smell of it so much that I just threw it under my sink, and I haven't looked at it again.
Why not just throw it away?
Because I paid for that. Plus, Jules said she liked it, so I was assuming at some point she might use it. Because, shocker, there are women that actually use this product, too.
Doesn't shock me. I've never tried it, so I can't give a testimony to it.
Yeah, Mars Bar, terrible. Don't even bother. Actually, it was limited edition, so you might not be able to bother.
But I like the smell of cinnamon, so maybe...
Well, maybe I'll find that used bar for you.
Yeah, I'm good. I'll pass. I don't care if it's the best scent you ever found. I'm not using it if you use it.
I'll rinse off the top layer.
Bro, that thing is... Never mind. Alright, I can't say that on our podcast.
No, we're a family podcast. Alright, so what's the next scent?
So this is... Like, I gave this one a solid 4 because this is the one I've tried that Josh hasn't tried. I don't think Josh ever will try because he doesn't like coffee. But it's the cold brew cleanse. And I will say, like, this scent doesn't smell bad at all. It really doesn't. If you're thinking like, oh, coffee soap, that's weird. It doesn't smell overtly coffee. Like it's a very subtle scent, and it doesn't make you smell like you just spilled like a
cup of coffee on
like
yourself?
A whole milk, like a skim milk, with extra foam and caramel and whatever frappuccino got spilled all over you. It doesn't smell like that. It's very subtly coffee, and like it doesn't make you smell bad. It smells pretty good.
Right.
But the reason I can't rate it higher is because they put real, I'm not even kidding, real coffee grounds in the soap, and they get all over the tub, like all over the tub. It's disgusting. And not to mention the coffee grounds, like because they're hardened and like probably frozen beforehand, it feels like you're just rubbing sandpaper all over yourself.
Yeah, they're there for exfoliation, but it probably does more like rip your skin open.
And don't get me wrong, like your skin does feel better after using it, but it hurts.
Yeah.
It doesn't feel good. And just like trying to clean all the coffee grounds like at the bottom of your tub afterwards is like, what? Don't even buy this soap. Like, yeah, I mean, like if you want to try it, like go ahead and try it, but just keep that in mind. Like it's a mess. No. So I gave that a solid 4. So that's in our C tier.
Cool. What's next?
So this is the B tier. This falls into like 5s and 6s, and so these aren't bad soaps. They're just pretty middle of the road. So yeah. So let's get right to it. Bay Rum. That's B tier. I think I gave this one what did you give this one again?
I think I gave that one a 5 or 6.
Yeah, I was about there too. I gave it a 6. You just want to say why you gave that a 6?
So. This is it's a really great scent. I really do like the smell of it. The thing that got me was, and maybe I shouldn't have done this, but Dr. Squatch makes one candle scent, and it's the Bay Rum candle scent. So I got the candle because I needed an extra thing for free shipping anyway, and I was just like, why not? And I love the smell of that candle. My wife liked it even more than I did. She burned it at every chance she got. Plus, it came with a wood wick, so, it felt like super cool. And I was like, oh, dang, if the soap smells exactly like this, it'll be super awesome. And for the most part, it did. It was a lot more mellow or settled out in the soap than I was expecting it to be, which I guess I should have known. So great scent overall. I really do like the smell. I just feel like I probably ruined it myself by getting the candle first.
That's fair. I'm with you. I never had the candle, but it was just like pretty average overall for me. Like I think the commercial made it seem like it was going to be a lot better than it was, and then I got it, and it was fine. Like it. I mean, yeah, I don't really know what else to say about it.
Yeah.
It just, I don't know, after a while, like, I think the initial smell at first, like, was what turned me onto it. But then, like, after a while, it's like, I just kind of want to move on to the next bar.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I gave it, like, a solid 6.
Definitely.
So, yeah, for next in our B tier, we have Cedar Citrus, and we actually disagreed on this one. I gave this, like, an 8 or 9.
Yeah.
And go ahead, what'd you give it?
I'm trying to remember what my exact number for it was. I think that was another one I gave like a 5 or 6. It wasn't a bad scent at all. I really liked the cedar in it. There were actually like real little flecks of like citrus wood, which I thought were really cool. I think the thing that got it for me was I didn't get like a super powerful scent from either the cedar or the citrus. And, like, I'm not saying that, like, I want my entire house to smell like that after I'm done. But for it being cedar citrus, I just feel like it wasn't cedary or citrusy enough.
Gotcha. Yeah, I gave this one, like, an 8 or 9. I can't remember exactly which one, but I really enjoyed this one. This is one of my favorites, honestly. I'm a sucker for citrus. Like, I love the smell of citrus. And to me, like, maybe my nasal, my sense of smell is maybe stronger or in some way.
You got a better sniffer?
Not overall, like, but maybe just like to the scent of citrus. Like I thought like the citrus smelled great. I love the way it felt. It wasn't like too overbearing on your skin. It felt great. I just love the smell of it. And yeah, I would say it's like overall one of my favorites. But I mean, this is a fair democracy. We take an average between the both of us. So yeah, this is B tier.
Average ratings from average guys.
Yeah. And then lastly on the B tier, we have the Mars Bar, which I've never tried.
You mean the Area 51 brick?
Did I say that again?
Yeah.
That's the second time I said that.
Yeah. So there were 2 limited edition scents that came out around the time of that whole Area 51 Naruto runner nonsense. One of them was the Mars Bar, which you guys know I absolutely despised. And the other one was the Area 51 brick. Overall, really good. I didn't mind the scent of it. I actually rather enjoyed it. I don't know how to really describe the scent. The best way I can describe it is like the smell of the earth after it rains. I know there's like a super scientific term for that. I don't know what it is, but that's what it smelled like. I personally love that smell. But I know there are people who personally don't like it that much. And it was also a scent that, like, I know Jules wasn't a fan of either. Because, my wife has to have a say in my soaps. So, because of that and the fact that, like, I know it definitely wouldn't be everybody's thing, I gave it the B tier rating. But I personally liked it more than I think the average person.
Gotcha. Well, hey, now we're getting into the good stuff.
Oh, yeah.
So now we're in the A tier. So these are like 7 to 8s. And this is actually our biggest category. So, yeah, this is like a tier, like we would say, like you guys should definitely check out. Like there's some really good stuff in this tier. It's just personally not our favorites.
Yeah, but it's not the best of the best, but it's still pretty darn good.
Yeah, and some of these are our favorites, but like again, like we disagree on some of these. But
yeah.
First we have the Gold Moss Scrub.
I personally love that one. It's very woodsy, very earthy. It smells like... This is going to sound really weird, but like it smells like an old piece of furniture that is built out of real wood. It smells like that tree. And I absolutely love that. I love the smell of the earth, and I love the smell of nature and stuff like that.
That's an interesting way to put it. Yeah, I just thought this one was okay. I didn't give it a too high of a rating. I didn't have a problem with it. I thought it was fine. But yeah, it just didn't tickle my fancy as much as it did for you. But I could definitely see where you're coming from with that. It's just that I guess when I used it, like, I wasn't too excited about using it. And, like, when I was using it, I was like, yeah, I just kind of want to move on to another one.
Yeah, you tried it more just to try it.
Yeah, and it was fine. Like, I don't really have any big complaints over it. Like, overall, I would just say it was okay.
Yeah, no, that's fair.
Next scent, I haven't tried this one. You have. We got Bow Chicka Wow Wow. that is a ridiculous name.
It was a Valentine's Day soap.
That's great. I actually didn't know that. Oh, man.
So...
Well, okay.
So, I at the tail end of 2020, Dr. Squatch released like a package of 8 soap bars, and it was like their limited edition stuff. I think they had done either throughout the year or throughout the previous couple years. And Bow Chicka Wow Wow was like the scent for Valentine's Day, and I wasn't sure how I was going to feel about it at first because when you sniffed it, it smelled like chocolate and cherry. Almost like a cherry cordial. Have you ever had those?
Nope.
Oh, those things are fantastic. My wife's given me the face, so... but it smelled a lot like a chocolate cherry candy, which was really nice. And then I started using it, and you got a little bit of like this red wine scent in there too. It was a surprising bar. It smelled really good, a lot better than I was expecting it to for what it was. It was a surprise. It was a shocker. So that's why I ranked it so high.
No, that's cool. I definitely.
Plus, with a name like Bow Chicka Wow Wow, like, come on.
I was wondering, like, why is it called that? And then now that's just so funny. That's all right. Yeah, moving on. We got Cool Fresh Aloe, which you haven't tried.
I have not.
But I will say, like, for me, like, it's good. Like, I actually was kind of shocked because, like, I hate the smell of, like, aloe vera.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I hate the smell of it. I think it smells absolutely putrid. And maybe that's just because it gives me, like, flashbacks to the time where I got ridiculously sunburned and had to have that stuff, like, slathered all over my back.
Oh.
But
it's PTSD.
Sure, yeah. But no, like, I didn't really expect a lot going into this. I was like, yeah, aloe vera, like, whatever, like, sounds pretty average to me. But I actually watched someone else do a video, and I don't remember who did it, but, like, they actually, when the scents were still pretty limited, they actually ranked this one as, like, their all-time favorite, and I was like, oh, well, okay, like, I have to give this a try. And yeah, like, it's good. Like, it's a good bar of soap. Like, it doesn't hurt when you scrub it, and it's like, I don't know, like, it's a lot thicker than the other bars. Like, you know.
You mean the bar itself is, like, thicker, or it produces, like, a thicker lather?
Like, it's a thicker lather.
That's probably because, like, have you ever cut into, like, an aloe leaf?
No.
So, like, if you cut into aloe, it's, like, almost like jelly in there. Like, so it's probably, like, that whole thing.
Yeah. So and I would say, like, it definitely, out of all the bars, I think definitely feels the smoothest. Like, it's just a very smooth soap. It smells pretty good. The scent isn't overbearing in any way. It's also not, like, amazingly impressive in the scent. But I would say it's just a good bar of soap. Like, it's just a good middle of the line soap. I give it like a 7.5 or maybe even 8.
I feel like aloe is probably like a really good baseline.
Yeah, for sure. And like I'd say, like, the reason, like, it's not higher is just because, like, the scent is not amazing. Like, it's good, but it didn't blow me away. Like,
gotcha.
But everything else about it is good. It's good. It's a really good soap.
Cool.
So next, we got another one we kind of disagree on, and that's Nautical Sage. Honestly, I would give this one a 10, but I know you kind of disagree with that. So,
here's my only reason, and I knew this kind of going in, so maybe it's just me. I love the scent of it. I really, really do. Like, it smells just wonderful. Now, the things that are in it, I think it has sage.
The rosemary, right?
It has sage and rosemary.
Yeah.
In it. And for those of you that don't know, there are body washes and other things that are already made with those things. But if you are not used to using those, so like I went from using like super artificial body wash, of course, to using that one.
Yeah.
Those things can actually cause rashes on your skin. So, yeah, so I used it and I got this little bit of a rash on my skin, so like it was itchy. It smelled awesome, but it was fantastic. As a testament to it, I wasn't so bothered by it that I just threw it under the sink and forgot about it like the Mars bar.
Yeah, no, and I can definitely see that, and like you make a really good point. And I guess for me, like the reason I would rate it so high is because yes, I love the scent. Like it's absolutely one of my favorite scents for sure. But like the rosemary and the what was it? The sage. I guess
rosemary and sage. Yeah.
Yeah. When that was on, when I used that for my skin, because I was keeping in mind what Josh said to me. It's like this is like you could have a reaction to this,
right?
For sure. But for me, I didn't. And also like. You know that feeling like when you have an itch and like you just get that gentle scratch that like feels so good?
Yeah.
That's how it felt for me. Like so for me it worked perfectly.
Okay.
And that's why I gave it such a high rating. But yeah, I mean if you have a reaction to it, I can see why you don't like it.
Yeah, now I probably should have stopped, but once again, $7 for a bar. No.
Yeah. And next we have another one we slightly disagree with. But for me that's Drunken Pumpkin.
Ah, yes. I think that bar is everything that encapsulates the scent of fall without being your stereotypical pumpkin spice.
Yeah.
It's got like the scent of campfire. Surprisingly, I don't smell any pumpkin. It's made with like pumpkin butter.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's got like the smell of campfire. It just smells like what you would expect it to if you were just hanging out with the guys around the campfire. Mm. You know, just hanging out. Like, it smells like a fall night.
Yeah. And I do like the flavor. Like, I'm not trying to... I do agree with everything you said, but there were some underlying things that just kind of got to me with the soap, and that is the fact that it has tobacco in it.
That's right. It does have a little bit of a tobacco scent.
And, like, I don't dislike that in and of itself, but there's so just a little bit of a testament of like what I used to be like. I grew up in a high school that had a lot of like rednecks.
Okay.
And one of the things about my school was that was just absolutely disgusting was there were a lot of chewers in the school. And like I'm not gonna lie, like I used to chew a little bit myself. But like looking back at it, it was so gross. Like there would be people that would just take like wads of chewing tobacco, like that they were spitting, and just like throw them in the water fountain, and like you would find them on the floors, like in the bathrooms, and it was disgusting. So like just looking back on it now, I'm like, this is so gross, and like anything tobacco related is like I just think of that, and like the color that the soap like produced with the water, just reminded me of that.
Oh, okay.
And that really just grossed me out.
That's fair. Fair.
It's the soap smelled good.
Yeah.
And like it felt fine. So like the scent overall is what keeps it from being lower for me, but just like what it reminds me of is just not. Can't do it.
Hey, that's fair, man. That's fair.
But yeah, so that's that one. And so that concludes our A tier. Now we get to
the best.
The best of the best of the best.
Yes, S tier. Let's go.
And I'm going to actually save one of them for last because you'll see. But let's start with Wood Barrel Bourbon. Haven't had it.
So Wood Barrel Bourbon, I think, is one of their newer scents. But it's kind of like the best things about Drunken Pumpkin, honestly. Just dialed up to 11. Mm. It's fantastic. That's all I can really say about it. It's got like that earthiness I like, but it's also got like the warmness of the bourbon scent. It's great. You just gotta try it.
Cool. Yeah, haven't had it, so can't. But I believe him because I smelled it. This is actually the one we have here. And yeah, it does smell very good, so I'm excited to try it.
I love that one.
So now, next, we have Grapefruit IPA.
It was fantastic.
Yeah,
it really
great.
was. I was expecting it to have more of like a general beer scent, but what really came through was more of the grapefruit and the citrus that was in it. And I love how it looked like a chunk of pineapple, like yellow with just brown flecks in it. It's great.
Yeah, no, I agree. Like it's a great scent. It smells great. It feels fine. And just like it's not doesn't smell like beer or anything like that. It just smells like grapefruit and it's good.
And let me know if you agree with me on this, but every time you sniff the bar, maybe it's just like a mental thing because you know it's supposed to be like a beer scent, but like it was almost like I could smell like the fizziness of a beer. You get where I'm coming from?
Yeah, I could see that.
Yeah, it just kind of had that effect on my nose. It was awesome.
Next, we have the Eucalyptus Greek yogurt.
That one...
You haven't tried that one.
I have not tried that one.
It is amazing.
Is it?
I love it. It smells so good. And this is going to sound kind of weird, but like I've like accidentally gotten it in my mouth before, like while I was like scrubbing my face and neck and stuff, and like it doesn't taste like soap at all.
Does it taste like Greek yogurt?
It just tastes like I don't really know how to explain, like oatmeal.
But it wasn't bad.
No, it wasn't bad. And they have like little flakes of oatmeal in it, and it just feels right. Like it feels it's good for your skin, and it just smells so good. I don't really know how to describe it. It's great. Like it's one of my favorite flavors for sure.
I'll have to get a bar in my next box.
Yeah, no, it's great. And last but not least, and the reason I kept this last is because this was your and I's first scent. And honestly, like I don't think anything really beats it.
No, it's easily the best one.
But that's pine tar.
The pine tar bar is like their flagship scent. It's fantastic.
Oh, it smells so good.
It's literally like a black brick of soap made with actual tar from pine trees. It's got flecks of oatmeal in it. You scrub with it, it turns the water black. You have to scrub your shower a little more often, yeah, but you smell like you're in the middle of the forest.
Yeah,
there's no other way to describe it.
Yeah, so if there was an SS tier, like absolutely 100% be the best.
Yeah, pine tar is easily the king of the Squatch soaps. Easily.
So that concludes our ranking, but just with a few minutes I have that we have left, I really kind of want to. And this may sound weird to you and like might sound shocking to you, but I think like we can actually tie this into to biblical living, because and yes, this context is relating to sexual purity, but like the Bible does tell us that our body is a temple for the Holy Spirit, and like with that, even though that's talking about sexual purity, we can talk about that in a sense of we should treat our bodies well, and we should treat our bodies healthily, because when we treat our bodies healthily, like we are honoring the Lord. So like there is a sense of like, yes, and as stupid as it may sound, like these soaps that we buy like just in the store and stuff like that, they are synthetic and they have chemicals in it bad for your skin.
Yeah, and you know, at first I thought when I saw the commercial they were talking about that, where he's like, hey, look, using this stuff links to depression, low sperm count, you know, stuff like that, bad skin. And I was like, oh, they're just saying that to sell their soaps, but you can actually look up reports on stuff from the FDA, and it's like,
it's true.
Oh wow, that stuff is terrible for you.
Yeah, and like this stuff, like even though it's minor, like my skin like feels so much smoother. Like you notice a difference. And like I do think like in a sense, even though it's significantly smaller, you are treating your body better by using better soaps. And like we're not saying like if you're using synthetic soaps like you're sinning. That's not what I'm saying at all. But like I do like honestly I kind of test like just feeling better overall with this.
I mean I like it a lot. I feel a lot better about it too.
Yeah. So I mean like give it a try and see if you use it, like you can actually ever go back to the other stuff, because like I can't.
Yeah, like I said, $7 a bar, it's expensive, but at the end of the day it's worth it.
Yeah. And
if you get a subscription, you end up saving like I think it's like $1 a bar.
Yeah.
Yeah, so if you buy in bulk, I guess it's not much more cost effective, but it does save you a little bit in the long run.
Yeah, for sure. And again, like I'm not trying to be overly spiritual with that, but like for me, like I don't think I could go back to regular soap.
I refuse to go back to regular soaps.
Yeah, but hey,
it's the organic stuff for me, man.
Oh yeah, but hey, I mean, unless you have anything else to say, I think that kind of concludes the episode.
No, all I'm gonna say is just like, you know, general reminder. We are not sponsored by Dr. Squatch.
Nope.
We're nowhere near big enough to have anybody want to consider sponsoring us. We're just doing this for fun. It's a product that we both enjoy and we think is great, and we wanted to share it with you guys. And yes, we are secure in our masculinity, even though we're freaking out like girls when the, what is that, Bath & Body Works White Barn has a sale around Christmas.
Yeah.
But with that being said, that is our Dr. Squatch rating. Go try them. And if you don't got anything else, I guess we'll sign out.
Yep, I'm good.
Awesome. Well, guys, hope you have a great day. If you want to get in touch with us, undeservingpodcast@gmail.com, Undeservingpodcast on Facebook. Instagram, yes, the Instagrams, always forget about that one. And until next time, I'm Josh.
And I'm Brian.
Have a great day. Oh, hey, you guys stuck around a little longer. Hope you liked that episode. Let's say there's a random box somewhere over here. Or maybe, let's say Woody raises his arm and points somewhere over this way. Say you click on one of those videos and watch more Undeserving Podcast. We'll be waiting for you guys.